Hey y'all, how's it going? It's Adrienne with Tallahatchie Made. How is everybody doing today? Please let me know as you're hopping on where you are watching from and say hello down in the comments. And if you come back and catch the replay, drop hashtag replay so that I can come back later and say hello to you guys. I did not get to go live last week because it was just a crazy week and things were just chaotic. So I'm back this week and I'm super excited to be on here crafting live with y'all. So please let me know as you hop on and do say hello down in the comments. If it's your first time watching, let me know that it's your first time. And I do see a couple eyeballs popping up there. Hello, Miss Carrie. How are you doing? Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Hello, everybody. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I am presenting on Craft Around the Clock, so 45 minutes here, and hopefully I can get everything done that I want to get done. But we are going to take these pumpkins. These are just little pumpkins from the 5-quarter store, and I'm going to be taking these and turning them into bunnies. So what I did, just a little prep work. So they had some bows on them here. And I just took those bows off because I'm going to use the back, but I want to use the bows. So I just heated them up a little bit with a heat gun, took them off so that I can just attach them back on the back side. And then I made sure that the sticker was off the back and that it was, clean. However, I am going to be using scrapbook paper on these. I'm not going to be like painting them. So I did not sand them down except for this one, just because I had, there was a piece that I couldn't get off, sticky or paper that I couldn't get off. So I had to sand it off. So I did end up sanding this one. I see a couple more eyeballs popping in. Hello, everybody. Y'all, please say hello as you're hopping on and let me know where you're watching from. And if this is your first time watching. And please be sure to let me know if you catch the replay so that I can come back later and say hello to you if you caught the replay. If you are just hopping on, we are using these little 5-quarter store pumpkins. And we're going to be turning them into some really cute little bunnies. Hello, Miss Cynthia. How are y'all doing today? All right, so here's what the first thing I want to do. I have already taken the stickers off the back and everything. You could do this front side too if you want to. And I'll tell you, I had a kind of an idea about how to make this a double-sided project. If you've been around here for a while, or if you stick around my page for a while, you will find out that I love anything double-sided. It's less storage. It's easier to swap out from season or holiday. So I'm all about a double-sided project. So we'll talk about an idea for that. But I did want to say, if you use this front side, there's some glitter on here. All you have to do is you can take a little bit of water, spray it on there, let it sit for just a minute, and then scrape that glitter off. Or you can just take some sandpaper and sand it off. And then you can use that where it's not raised if you want to paint over it, or, put some paper, Mod Podge on there, or napkin, decoupage it. Then it's not going to give you that raised look, all right? So, but we're just going to use the back side. We're going to make it super easy. I am going to be using some scrapbook paper on these. And while we're talking about the scrapbook paper, I need y'all to give me your opinion because I can't decide. So I have this pack here. This is from Eco Paper. Excuse me. This is from Eco Paper, and I have scraps falling out of it because this has been one of my favorite paper packs. It's called Have Faith, and I got this at Tuesday morning, probably 5 or 6 months ago, and my Tuesday morning is actually going out of business. So I'm actually going to go today when I get off here and see if they have any paper packs, because I love the Eco Park but I can't decide which paper that I want to put on these. So y'all let me know if you think this pink checkered, the green checkered is a little bigger, but it's a tad bit darker. It's still springy, but I don't know that I want it quite this dark, but I want y'all to tell me what you think. So the pink, the green, or I also have this really pretty like light blue color. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it has some white flowers on it, but it's not super bold that it's gonna take away from what the project is. So hello Robbie, first time watcher, thank you for hopping on here. So as y'all are hopping on, and while we're doing a couple of things, y'all just let me know which one you think we should put on here for these little bunnies that we're gonna do. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna paint the edges of all of these little pumpkins white. And I'm not gonna worry about if it gets on the back of the front, because like I said before, I will probably end up turning this into a double-sided project. And since we're doing bunnies on one side, I thought it would be really cute if we did maybe some little baby chicks on the other side. What do y'all think about that? So like bunnies on one side, baby chicks on the other. And then you have a double-sided project that can be a springtime project. It can be Easter specific. So the bunnies are more kind of like, you know, people relate bunnies a lot to Easter. But they're springy too. And then if you wanted to kind of take a little bit of that Easter feel away from your decor, you could just flip it over and then you would have a baby chick on the back. And that's just kind of a springy design that you can add in with your home decor. And y'all, these would be so cute on a tiered tray or like an entry doorway. I don't know where I'm going to use them. I thought about using them at my entry doorway. I have a little table that I've been decorating. I built the table this I guess it was back right at the beginning of fall last year. I built this little table to go at my entryway at my house, and I've been grabbing things here and there to decorate it with from, you know, season to season and holidays and things like that. So this would be really cute right there. All right, so I've seen a lot of blue and I've seen a lot of pink. So I'm thinking that's probably what we're going to choose between, is the blue or the pink. So y'all keep letting me know. Blue, pink, that's what I'm seeing the most of. So I feel like I love the green. So green is my favorite color. And so I love the green naturally. But I think for this, I wanted something just a tad bit brighter, but not like a neon color. I am not a super bright color person. I like more muted or pastel tones, but I've been trying to get better and incorporate some colors that are just a little bit brighter in my projects and even in my home. Are y'all like that? Are y'all like colorful, real bright colors? Or are you more like muted tones? Love the baby chick idea. I think that that would just be so fun. And then all you would have to do is flip it over or turn it around. And then, like I said, double-sided projects, when it comes time to store them, you don't have to store two separate items. You have one item to put away, especially if you don't have a lot of storage space, or, you know, you live in a smaller home, or maybe you live in an apartment and you just don't have a lot of space to store. It just makes it so much easier to store store those when you're not using them. All right, so we have all of our sides painted. So I'm gonna let those dry from my lid here. Yep, muted tones. I'm like that too. I'm more muted, nothing super bright. And I'm honestly not even a pink fan at all, but I do like this pink paper because it's not like this bright, like hot pink or neon pink. So I can manage with that. Okay, so I'm gonna let those dry for just a minute while we work on some more stuff. We may have to hit it with a heat gun, but I want to show y'all how we're gonna do the ears. So you could use paper, felt, any kind of fabric, anything like that to make the little bunny ears, and you can just, you know, cut a little bunny ear out. But I'm going to be using this like faux burlap ribbon here. Let me get a whole piece here. And I cut this, I actually think it was a tad bit over 7.5, but to make it easier, if you make this project and you want a measurement, I would say about 7.5 long for these. And then I've already done some of them, but I wanted to show you how I made the ears. I'm going to push the camera down just a little bit. I think y'all will be able to see the project just a little bit better. How is that? That might be a little bit closer for y'all, especially for this right here. So here are the little bunny ears, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of bend them, and we'll mess around with them when we put them on there, but basically this is kind of the concept of the bunny ear, and it could have been just a tad bit pointier there, and I'll show you how to get that a little bit more pointier if you want a more pointed ear. But what I did is I took this and I just folded it in half, and so this does have wires, so it bends really easy and it's not gonna like flop back and forth with you or try to like curl up on you. So I do like the wired ribbon for this. But what I did is I took and I folded it in half, and then here on the edge, and it's a lot easier if you do this when it's laying down, but you basically just take the edge here at the fold and just push that in so that you have almost like a not a duck, not when, you know how you cut it and it has the, can't think of what it's called right now. It's not coming to me, but y'all know what I'm trying to say here. But anyway, you just do that on both sides. You basically just push it in. And like I said, you can make it as pointy or non-pointy as you want, but I'm going to try to even them all up because the other ones are not quite as pointy. So the way you can make sure that they'll all match is just put them together and then fold it so that the fold meets with the other fold on your second little ear there. So see how it kind of matches up there? And then all I did to just hold it in place a little better is I took a little bit of hot glue and then I pushed that or glued that down on each side. And so then when we get ready to put the ears on, you'll be able to see, and I'll show y'all how we're going to do the ears. But I went ahead and I did 4 of them, but I was going to show y'all how to do 2. So take your ribbon. This is 7.5, a little over 7.5, but I would probably just make it easier and go with 7.5. Fold it in half just like this, and then you can take one of your other ones that you've already done so that you can match them up so that they'll be the same. Take that corner there and just push it in. And you may have to play with it a little bit to make sure that it, you know, evens up on both sides, but then you just do it again. It is not fabric glue. It is actually just colored hot glue. I am out of clear glue sticks. And I actually had a pack. This is crazy, but I had a pack of colored glue sticks. You can actually like make designs and things with these on projects. Or if you're using like something colored and you don't want like the white to show or something, you can use the colored. But anyway, it's just a white glue stick. So just a regular hot glue stick. It's just white instead of clear. And I've been on this kick here about using what I have in my stash so that I'm not going out and buying a bunch of stuff that I don't necessarily need or that I already have. And I just can't find it because I have so much stuff. So I've just been trying to use what I have and encourage y'all to use what you have, because sometimes you can't just, you know, run out and grab something. And usually there's something that you can use in place of it. You know, there may be a few things that you have to get. Like when you run out of glue sticks, you got to buy glue sticks, right? But instead of going out and making sure that they were clear, I just, you know, used what I have. So, all right. So I've seen pink, blue. Okay. So pink or blue. All right. I think I kind of am leaning more towards the blue. And it may be because I'm not a huge pink fan. Let me check my time real quick. All right, we're doing good. I'm going to be putting a little flower on here for the little bunny butt. So that might help y'all to decide even more. So for our bunnies, I'm seeing another blue. If we add this little yellow flower, still the blue, or are we thinking the pink? So we're going to have a flower, a little flower on there. It's actually going to be the little bunny's butt. Maybe Facebook won't kick me out for saying that. Blue. Okay, we're going with blue because that's what I've seen the most of, and this is all dry. So let's go ahead and get our paper ready. So all I'm going to do is put these down on this piece of paper here. And I was going to do this step before so that y'all didn't have to watch me cut paper. But I needed help deciding. I just couldn't decide. So I'm going to line this up as close as I can so that I waste as little paper as possible. But I'm going to go around and I'm just tracing around this. And I'll do that on all three. And I'm not sitting here making sure this is perfectly traced, because when I put it on there, I do want to take the paper on the edges and just stress it just a little bit, because I do like the more farmhouse vintage look. So I just trace that on the back there, and then I'm just going to cut these out really quick, and then we're going to get them Mod Podged onto our surface. I don't know about y'all, but it has been so cold here. I am in Northeast Mississippi. I'm sure you couldn't tell by my accent. But it was like 70 last week. We had the windows up. You know, it was so nice. And then this week we've had some rain. It's been like, the high one day was only like 52, I think. It's been chilly. I'm telling y'all, this weather, I'm so ready for some spring weather. I'm going to cut this last one out and put my scraps back in my very beloved paper pack over here. And if you missed the very beginning, the paper came from a paper pack from Echo Park Paper Company. The name of the pack is Have Faith. You can get it on Amazon, and you can actually probably get it off of echoparkpaper.com, but this is what it looks like. I got it at Tuesday morning, probably like 6 months ago, and it has been, as you can see, I've got my scraps here, but it has been very loved and used, and I still have lots of really cute designs in there. But it's one of my favorite paper packs. And my Tuesday morning is actually going out of business. So I've got to go pick up my groceries here in a little bit when I hop off here. And I'm going to run over there because I just got an email this morning that said everything was on sale for 40% off. So I'm going to go see if they have some more paper. Even though I'm sitting here preaching to you, use what you have, I'm not going to pass up 40% off some paper, okay, y'all? So, and other craft supplies, they have other craft supplies in there too, a lot of times. So, I'm just using Mod Podge, and I'm going to do kind of a thick layer. This paper is a thicker cardstock or scrapbook type paper. So I do want to get a good coat on there so that it will hold. And I'm using paper Mod Podge. Anytime that I use paper and I use Mod Podge, I really like this particular Mod Podge. It seems to be a little bit thinner in regards to the paper bubbling up or getting, wrinkles in it. I don't have that problem as much when I use paper with this. So that's one reason I like to use it. And so then I'm just going to make sure that I get that down really good. And I'm just using a brayer tool. And if you want a little bit more adhesive on here, you can go in with a hot glue gun. You could do like the art glitter glue, any of that. But usually this paper glue or the Mod Podge works fine. I do just like to make sure that I roll it down and get a really good press on it. So then I'm going to set that to the side and do the other two. And then I'm going to go around the edges and sand it a little bit. But I do want to make sure that it's good and dry. Now this one right here, I did end up having to sand because the sticker that was on it, for some reason, even with my glue gun, I could not for the life of me get a certain section of, not glue gun, heat gun. I could not get a certain section to come up. So I ended up having to sand it off. The other two I did not sand simply because I was using paper over them. So it wasn't going to matter if it had a little bit of the sticky on it. It's just a little bit more adhesive, right? So... But now if you were going to paint it, you probably would want to make sure that it was sanded and there was no sticky from the sticker on it. And that way it doesn't alter the way that your project looks there in the center. Alright, so let me get this last one on here. And then we'll go through here in just a minute. Go ahead and put that in the water. And I don't have it over here, but when I use paint or Mod Podge, especially the Mod Podge, I have a specific brush that I only use, sorry, my nose was itching, with the Mod Podge. And I know it's that brush because I put a little piece of tape on it, and I know that is just for my Mod Podge, so I only use this. But in this cup of water, I have a little drop of stuff called Brush Plus, and it is one of my absolute favorite brush cleaning products. So if you're looking for a good brush cleaner, you can get it on Amazon. I believe you can get it at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's as well. But it's made by Folk Art, I believe. I have it right here. Let me just grab it. Yes, it is made by Folk Art. So I know you can get it on Amazon, but it's called Brush Plus. And I always put just a little bit in my water before I start. Stir it around, and then my paint brushes and my glue brush will sit in there and soak up that cleaner. So it's a lot easier to make sure that it gets out of all those bristles. And then I will go, you know, often and do a really good cleanup on them. But for just easy, that's what I do. All right, so now I'm going to take these, and I do want to go around the edges with a piece of sandpaper and just make sure I get any paper that is hanging off. I really need to get a sanding block. I had one in here, and I think I took them out to the shop, and I need to bring one back in here because they're so much easier to work with when you're sanding than just a piece of sandpaper. But I'm just taking these and getting all that excess paper that was on the side and giving it just a little bit of an antique look. And this is totally a preference. If you don't want that farmhouse vintage look on there, you do not have to do this step. I will tell you something else that I thought would be really cute on here is if you do want more of a like more of a vintage technique or look to it, you could take the coffee grunge or an antiquing glaze or a watered down brown paint and just around the edges, just darken that up a little bit. And then that would give you a little bit more of that vintage antique look. But I think I'm just going to let this be what it is. Most of the time I would go in and do more of an antique look. But I'm going to leave this one just springy and not do anything to it. So on the edges where there's really not any paper that's like hanging off, I'm kind of just taking my sandpaper and just, you know, going over it back and forth. But where the paper is hanging down, I like to go downward instead of up because sometimes it will tend to pull your paper up, and I don't want it to rip it off, especially since it's probably not 100% dry right now, but it's dry enough that we could go ahead and move on with this process. All right, so I've got one more, and then we can start putting our bunny, making our bunny come to life, because right now it just looks like a blue pumpkin. Y'all let me know down in the comments if y'all decorate for Easter. Are you big Easter decorators? Or do you just kind of put a few things out that are more springtime? Sometimes I feel like holidays like Easter, St. Patrick's Day, even like Valentine's Day, to me, it's not really worth like doing a huge decor swap, because I mean, it's one day and it's over. But I feel like with Easter and maybe even some St. Patrick's Day, you could kind of do spring, and then you could maybe add in like some bunnies or some eggs, and then when spring is over, or when Easter is over, you can just pull out the eggs, the more like Easter specific portions, and then just keep your spring stuff. So that's kind of been my idea for my personal home decor. So all right, so now what I'm going to do is we're going to start putting our bunny together. So I have these flowers right here, and these came from the 5 Quarter store. Pretty much everything that I have come from the 5 Quarter store. Except for the ribbon, it came from Michael's, but it was like 75% off at Christmas time. So still, you know, very inexpensive. But this has layers. And so what I did was I didn't want this humongous like flower down here because it kind of like stands out. So I took this smaller portion here. I don't know if y'all can see this, but I just popped it out like this. And so then you're left with a couple of these little pieces here that you can use on another project. And then you're left with this. And then I just chunked this in the garbage. And then this little piece here that's sticking up, I'm cutting it off because I want this to lay pretty flat down here. So I'm going to use this as my bunny's little butt. So I'm just going to glue these on here in the center. Oh. And I'm going to center as best I can. I'm not going to make sure that it's just perfect. But you could use a cotton ball here as well. You don't have to use a flower. You could actually use a lot of different things, and it would be really, really cute. But see, this is what we have for the little bunny's butt. Yeah, Miss Carol and Miss Cynthia said Easter and spring. That's kind of my thought. I have this vase that I bought that I think I'm going to put some like greenery sticks in. Just some basic greenery sticks. And then for the different holidays and the different seasons, I'm going to get extra little seasonal and holiday sticks that I can interchange with the green so that it will always be, you know, I can use the piece evergreen, but I just swap out the sticks in there. Just swap out the different, like for Easter, I can do like some with eggs on them and stuff. And I think that just makes it easy. For me, it just makes it easier. Okay. So now we're going to start putting our ears on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little bunny here. And I'm going to move this mat that I have because it's kind of bucked up a little bit. And I need it to kind of, I need this to stand up a little more straighter. And I'm going to need my glue gun, so I'm going to pull it over here beside me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it like this. And this is what I said, you may want a little bit more of a pointier ear. But once you get it on there, you can adjust it a little bit how you want it. But I'm kind of just taking it and pinching it together. And then I'm going to lay it down on here. See if y'all can see that. And then we'll cut this excess off. But I'm just going to lay it down here. And I'll do that on both sides. So let's get one down. And then, like I said, we can always adjust it later. I need to check my time real quick here. Okay, I got 10 more minutes. Hopefully we can get at least one of these done. So I'm going to do one complete so you can see. And then if we have time, we'll do the rest of them. If not, you kind of get the concept. And I'll be sure to take a picture after I get done. So, all right. So we've got one down. And I am going to add just a little bit of glue up here on the top, just for a little bit more protection. And then you just grab another little ear here. We'll do the same thing, just pinch it and fold it down. I want to kind of make sure that they're pretty even, see? So we've got our ears there. And we're gonna, this stick will be hidden. You can take the stick out if you want to. And that's probably what I should have done, was just taking the stick out. But it's gonna be hidden by some greenery and a bow. So I just didn't take the time to worry with taking it out. So again, I'm just gonna stick this up here, make sure that they look even. And then we'll cut that excess off here in a bit. And if your ear is kind of wanting to fall back, just add a little bit more glue up here on the front. And then, like I said, this is another reason I really like the ribbon with the wire in it, because it's going to give you a lot more room to bend and manipulate that ribbon to sit how you want it. All right, so then there's our little bunny ears. And you could take right in here and you could paint that pink, put some pink felt in there, you know, something, pink fabric. I'm just going to leave mine just this natural color. And then once this dries, I will be able to manipulate these a little bit more, even them out, play with them, make them look how I want them to look. But I'm going to let that glue dry. So I'm going to leave the ears alone. So this is what we have so far. So we have our little ears and our little bunny butt. And then I'm just going to come across here and cut off this excess ribbon that is hanging off. And it doesn't have to be a fancy cut, just a rough cut there. Because it's going to be hidden. So now you can see a little bit better our little ears here. All right. And then I also have these little like greenery pieces that have just like a sprig of this baby's breath on it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 2 of these leaves off. And I think I have enough to do 2 sprigs of baby's breath as well on each. So let me grab another one of those, okay? And then my leaves. And so what I'm going to do is here on the ears, I'm going to just add that little greenery there. Actually, I think I'm going to put the leaf behind it. And these leaves are kind of big, so they might hide the ears. I may not use, I don't think I'm going to use the leaves, and I'm going to show you why. They're really big and they hide the ears. If you had a smaller leaf, maybe, I don't. I just have these bigger ones. So I'm just going to take this baby's breath on both sides, glue that down. And then we're going to put a bow on it too. So it will still be, hidden and still have a little bit more design there. Just gonna attach that, and then this bow came on the pumpkin, so I'm just reusing the bow that came on it to make it easy. And I'm gonna put it right back there in the middle. So then we have a little bit of greenery, a cute little bow, and then we have our bunny ears. And this did not cover that stick as much as I wanted it to, so I may end up going in and cutting that off. And I can do that probably with some like wire cutters. I have some pretty heavy duty ones somewhere. I can grab those here a little bit later, and I'll probably go in and cut that off. I don't know if I can hide it with the ears, but this is basically what your bunny will look like. So then once this dries, you can go and you can kind of manipulate these ears a little bit so that they match. But then you have a really cute little bunny. And this was pretty much like all 5-quarter store products, right? So y'all throw up some hearts if you're loving this bunny. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love these. So I'm going to finish up these last two. I have just a few more minutes. We may not get them done while we're live, but I'm going to talk through them while I have just a few more minutes. But y'all, if you want to know when I go live, be sure to join my Telegram. And I will be posting in there finished products anytime that I go live, any news and alerts that you might need to know of, upcoming things that are going to be going on over on my page. All the things will be posted in that Telegram, so y'all be sure to join Telegram. And it is up in my description. I have the link to Craft Around the Clock in there as well. If you are not in Craft Around the Clock, please go join that group. It is an amazing group of crafters, crafting pretty much 24/7, either live or on replay. Sometimes on the weekends, we have events in there. On Fridays, we do theme days so you'll be on the lookout for those. Those are always fun. We actually have one coming up tomorrow. It's Botanical Day. And if everything works out, I'm going to be on at, I believe it's 2:30 that I'll be on tomorrow. If not, I'm going to take the project that I was going to do tomorrow and I'll do it next week on the page. But y'all be sure to grab that link. And then you can also join my email list to stay up to date on news and alerts. And I do have a freebie in there. If you own a Cricut and you want my Cricut freebie, it's up in my link tree. Everything's up there. Just grab that link tree link and you will be set to go. So, all right, y'all. Well, I am going to hop off here. Y'all be sure to, I'm trying to check. Okay. I am going to hop off. And y'all be sure to head over to Craft Around the Clock and see the next crafter that comes up after me. And be sure to show the love and throw up some hearts if you really like this. And I will be back maybe tomorrow. And if not, I will see y'all next week. All right, y'all. Bye.